So despite my height, I don't have many adulting moments, but I was privileged like all throughout growing up. I grew up at my parents' house in Titusville, Pennsylvania. We founded oil. I talk about it a lot if you know me, but nobody else really knows about it. We had a washer and dryer, and my mom did all my laundry. It was great. And then I went to college, went down by Philadelphia and Chestnut Hill for a couple years, and didn't really, that's when I had to do my own laundry, and I remember the first time I was talking to my mom, and I was like, how many these Tide Pods do I put in? And she's like, well, it depends how big your load is. And I was like, well, I'm just doing all my clothes. And she's like, oh. I could almost feel her like having a hot flash through the phone. She's like, you can't do them all at once. You have to separate them from colored to whites. And I was like, I'm just gonna do them all. I'm putting 2 Tide Pods in, and I'm doing them all. So I did that, and I had a washer and dryer in my apartment complex. It was fine. It was not really that expensive, but I was a college kid and I was broke. And so I decided that it might be cheaper if I go to the laundromat. And this was my first experience with a laundromat. And I to this day, I hate laundromats. You can ask anybody I know. But so I go to the laundromat, and I'm thinking it's cool because I didn't have Wi-Fi because I was broke. So I was like, this place has free Wi-Fi. I'll just hang out and do my clothes, and it'll be like great. And it was a little bit cheaper, but it was like, it's a laundromat. And turns out I don't really like them. I don't like all the people around. I don't like people talking. I don't like all the little kids pushing carts into you. So I did that once, and I was like, whatever, I'll pay the $7 for the apartment one. Well, I did that for 2 years, and then I moved back home after I graduated. And same thing, I was living at my house, and I had a washer and dryer, and I felt really spoiled. And this story probably seems really bland, but I promise it gets really interesting. So I'm doing it at home for the next 2 years. I was working at like a small town newspaper, getting home really late. I was just kind of doing whatever I wanted. And then I moved to York County in 2017, and I moved into my first place, and it's like a 500 square foot apartment, so it's like less than a quarter of this room. And there's no kitchen. There's nothing but a microwave on top of a mini fridge and a bathroom. And but this is why I got the apartment. It had a washer and dryer in the basement, so I didn't have to go to the laundromat. So I was doing it was sketchy. It took me I lived there for 7 months. It took me 4 months before I found that there's a light switch in the basement. I just didn't know. So I would go down there, and I would have my phone in my teeth with the flashlight on, and I would go in and I'd throw all my laundry in the washer and then go back down again in an hour. It wasn't until I moved to my first real apartment with a year lease and everything that I had to start going to the laundromat. And at first I didn't think it would be that bad, and I was like, okay, it takes a lot of time, it kind of sucks. I had a dog, and I was like, he probably hates me every time I have to do laundry because we could be walking. And I did it for a year, and I swear every time I had to do it, everybody would know, all my friends and stuff in group messages, they're like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like, going to the laundromat. And they're like, yeah, okay. You tell us every week, Ty. Every Monday when you're free, you tell us you're going to the laundromat. It's like a 4-hour event, and I hate it. Like I said before, there's little kids running around, they're hitting you with the carts, and they're riding in the carts, which is really fun, and then they hit you. And if you forget your headphones, you're screwed, and it costs $7, and it's just this big, hassle. So moving forward, my lease ends in October, but I already moved into my new house in Emmonsville, and there's a washer and dryer in the basement, and I know where the light's at. So I'm super excited about this washer and dryer, which sounds really dumb, and this could be my adulting moment, but I've kind of had this love-hate with laundry since I've been having to do it, and I still just throw it all in at the same time. I still don't separate it, and I don't think I ever will. I've never ran into one problem ever. Knock on wood. So, but there's a washer and dryer in my basement here, and I just moved in about 2 weeks ago. And so the first day I moved in, got everything set up. My girlfriend came over and she helped me get everything set up because it turns out I don't really decorate that well. So it was 3 days in, and I was super excited. I didn't have to go to the laundromat. I had Wi-Fi. I was just gonna watch TV, hang out while my laundry gets done, and I'll have fresh towels for the morning. So I take my load downstairs, and I start putting it in the washer. The thing was already open. The house had only been vacant for a week. So the top was open, didn't really think, I just started throwing all my stuff in. Close the lid, do the laundry, go back upstairs, hang out for like an hour, go back down, I'm gonna change it over, and I'm throwing everything over, and once I get to the bottom, it's like the socks and the underwear, and things get like bundled up, and I'm moving everything over by hand, and I grab a handful, and I go to take it over, and something drops and hits the floor, and so I thought it was like a sock, so I finished putting everything in the dryer, and I lean over and I pick it up, and I dropped it immediately, because it was a lot heavier than a sock, and at the same time, I was like, why don't my clothes really smell clean? So in the week that the house was vacant, a bat had flown into my washing machine, and it had hid somewhere underneath the rimming, I guess. So I ended up rewashing my clothes because I still hate laundromats, and I'm not going to go to one. And it's fine now, but I guess that'd be my biggest adulting moment. But if it's not, I guess it's like better late than never. You know what I mean? Thanks.